Hello again, Struckrock. Today I'm gonna talk more about Magic Legends, and this one would be about the difficulty and the complexity in the game, modifiers and other things like that, world and mission enchantments. The difficulty in Magic Legends comes from a few places, but the major source is the difficulty levels. And you start from normal and then you can go on hard, expert and master. And each of those has a suggested gear score level. I forgot exactly how they were referring to it, but yeah, it's your level of the combined accumulated power of your items, of your upgraded items, of your artifacts and so on, and of your player level, of your hero level. So yeah, you start at normal by default, but hard, expert and master become unlocked throughout reaching different level milestones through gameplay. Hard unlocks completing the full tutorial, then expert and master difficulties unlock as soon as you've gotten one character to level 30. And by increasing the difficulty level, you face more potent and demanding enemies in terms of health pools and damage output. Thankfully, this game doesn't go into the millions and billions of damage. Yeah, you still would be able to do a million damage. I've done it in the closed beta with certain spells when they're upgraded and when you get certain buffs in a team. You can get very close to a million damage, maybe even pass it, and that was without even min-maxed items. But you don't go into millions, you don't have 100 million, 200 million, etc. You don't have billions and so on. So I like that at least the numbers are compressed, even on the hardest difficulties. You're gonna be doing damage, but the enemies won't have that big of a health bar. Obviously bosses are a different story and you're gonna need to adapt to those, and on master, if you go unprepared, you're gonna have a lot of dying. You can still complete a mission with a lot of dying without the right gear score suggested for that difficulty, but it's doable. I've done it. I've been carried by someone who was. We had a team where we had 3 people, or maybe it was 4. We had 3 people, not 4. It was 3 people, and one of them was with the right gear score. The other 2, me including. We were kind of a little bit under geared, and we still were able to complete it with a lot of kiting, with a lot of dodging, and in the end there was this overpowered ability that basically was you die. It hits you and you die eventually by some damage over time. So in the end, somehow luckily I managed to dodge that effect on my first run at master. And I was able, like when the boss was super low, to somehow kill it. And the guy that was carrying ended up dying at that specific moment, but somehow we managed to, after a few tries, after a few resets of the boss fight, it was doable without everyone being fully geared. So I like how it is. It's challenging, but if you gear up enough, it's not that challenging. It's not Path of Exile type of boss fight challenging. As long as you have good gear, you should be fine. Now let's talk about regional enchantments. There are 2 types of enchantments, one of them is regional, the other one is world. Regional ones, you don't need to do anything to make them, you don't craft those like world enchantments. And once you start at hard difficulty, those would be optional at hard difficulty. But if you go to expert and master, these enchantments are automatically applied and they modify the combat in that region in various ways, and the active enchantments rotate every few weeks. There's a list that you should be seeing on your screen, and for example, burning covers the enemies in that region in mystical flames, dealing damage over time to you and your nearby allies, or final explosion, which causes the deaths of enemies to trigger massive damage during blasts. And just yesterday I was talking about how boring this is in games, exploding enemies when they die. Everyone does it and it's so boring, it's so cheesy, it's been overdone. And it's not difficult, it's just it adds an extra layer of fucking having to dodge all the time. So yet another developer that puts exploding enemies on death. But here's the list: Color Alliance, Burning, Celerity, Final Explosion, Unnatural Dangers, Mana Overload, Necromantic Aura, Poison, Reflect, Unearthly, Durability, Attention, Rakdos Resistance, Sorcerer's Overdrive, Mana Feedback and Volatility. If you want to read them again, there's a link in the description to this article. So You can check those out. Now I'm gonna move on to world enchantments. In addition to the 4 base difficulties and the above listed regional enchantments, world enchantments add powerful world altering effects that can add further depth to the gameplay. They are consumable, single-use items that attach to story and ordeal mission maps. The world enchantments system is in the prophetic quill structure of each planeswalker's meditation realm, or through the guide menu once you've completed missions in the overworld. And basically you craft those. You go into your meditation realm, then you go to the prophetic quill, and then you craft world enchantments with earned materials that you gather through gameplay. Or you can purchase them from the broker with gold if someone is selling them. Again, the broker, I have a video about that and about how pay to win it could be, and I'm uploading that video on the same day as this one. So yeah, it's an auction house style system, so maybe you might want to check this. Maybe you might want to check my pay to win introduced video. There are 3 different tiers of world enchantments as well, with each tier increasing raw enemy and map difficulty, while the enchantment enhances the complexity of your encounters. These effects stack with difficulty levels and regional enchantments selections, resulting in a series of augmentations that up the ante for plenty of challenge. And again, there's a list of all of those, and you might wanna check the full list on the link of this article, because it's a lot, and even though I'm trying to put it on the screen, it might be a bit difficult to see all of it at the same time. Now let's move on to rewards and progression. Naturally, increasing the difficulty and complexity of missions and overworld activities in Magic Legends results in reward bonuses to make completing them worthwhile. The benefits of increasing difficulty and applying enchantments include a higher quantity of drops such as spell pages and relic fragments, equipment rewards with more effective mods, and more significant XP gains. You should choose the difficulty that makes sense for you based on how strong your planeswalker is what they're saying. And yes, that's true, that's in every fucking game. You choose the difficulty that makes sense to how up to the task your hero is in terms of gearing up and spell levels and so on. So prior to taking on these greater challenges, consider a combination of your class level, planeswalker level, spell and artifact ranks, equipment and overall build synergies. They're saying that with over 25 risk-reward combinations at launch, you can consider a variety of playstyles, classes, deck teams and more to survive. For example, with the attenuation regional enchantment that reduces range damage, you likely want to select the Geomancer or Beastcaller class and make sure that any creatures in your deck are also melee attackers. They're saying using the overreaching magic world enchantment for another example, you will want to include 3 or 4 enchantments across your deck cores so that you have a higher likelihood of drawing one and being able to deal full damage while it's active. If attenuation is on rotation as the regional enchantment and you apply overreaching magic to a mission, you will have to consider both of those modifiers and their ramification at once. So that's pretty much it for the difficulties. Hopefully it was helpful to some of you out there. To get notified when I upload more content for this game or other games like this one, which would be wooters of all varieties, isometric, third-person ARPGs, wooter shooters and all sorts of wooters like that, you could subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to not miss out on my content updates. And optionally, you can even join as a member of the Struck Club on YouTube as a channel member to get access to exclusive perks such as special emotes custom made by me, special badges custom made by me that represents how many months you have been a member for, as well as opt-in of editing tutorials that I can give for Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, as well as shoutouts and things like that. And I would like to use this part of the video to thank all my YouTube members and Twitch subscribers. Thank you for supporting the channel and keeping me going. Thank you also for watching this video, everyone. Keep it cool, Struck Club. Until next time, and goodbye.